All right.
All right.
Steve Kilbey.
Hello.
Do you have math trauma?
I do have maths trauma.
What happened?
Well, this is what I was saying. When I first went to school, I was good. I wouldn't say I was good at arithmetic. Arithmetic had no horror or problem for me.
It was fine. It was
just fine. It was just like spelling or reading. It was, I could see how it all worked. I knew I was good at even long divisions. I could hang with that. Mm-hmm. And it was just another subject. And then when we went into high school, suddenly these concepts started floating around, which I couldn't get my head around, when arithmetic turned into mathematics. And I couldn't understand, although this is really weird because I am a poet and a lyricist, and I pull things out of the air, and that's my job. I pull things out of the air. I couldn't understand how mathematics could be pulled out of the air. That didn't seem to me like it seemed to me arithmetic was there was no creativity involved.
Wow.
It was this 4 and 5 always made 9. There was no
magic.
There was no magic. There was nothing. 4 and 5 made 9, and there were 3 3s in 9, and this is how you divide. And I was quite good at geometry. I could get my head around all of that, and the measuring, averages, all of these things. And then we got into high school, and I must have taken my eye off the ball for a few classes, and suddenly I was knee deep. They might as well have been talking Egyptian. I'm like, suddenly it was let A equals this and B equal that. I'm writing a book, a sort of a semi-kids book, and it's about, and one of the scenes in the book is the maths teacher humiliating the hero, who is me. And he pulls him out of the class and says, work out this equation. And I remember that being done and standing there, and there's an equation, and I had the chalk, and I had no idea. I gave up. I was traumatized. And then trigonometry was the same. I had no idea.
Because it all just builds on each other, right? Once you get hit once.
Do trigonometry and algebra go together?
Absolutely.
Do they?
Absolutely.
I never even knew what. Yeah. No one ever said why we're doing trigonometry. What could be the possible sort of how you would apply this in your life, and so algebra and trigonometry. It just it alienated me and isolated me, and then I started to hate it, and then I started to hate the idea, and then my ultimate trauma was I wanted to go to university and study Latin and Greek, and I couldn't get into any university
because you didn't have the maths. Yes,
and I'm like, what's maths got to do with Greek and Latin and why? So there was this
follows you.
There was this huge thing in Australia about you couldn't get anywhere. You can't get this job if you're going to be a chemist, if you're going to be a scientist. Yeah, sure. If you're going to be an economist, yeah, you need math. But why, if you're going to translate ancient Greek, which I think I was eminently suitable for because my head was there. But yeah, you can't come to our university because you don't have maths. So I really, if nowadays, if anything involves even arithmetic or maths, or even if I look at numbers, anything at all, it pisses me off, especially now there's music programs.
Yep. Auto-tune is all based on math.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all your fixers are based on math.
All of that.
Everything is based on math.
So yeah.
In your business world, right? Being a successful musician, you need the math.
Well, that all goes back to arithmetic.
Yeah.
Then
you're more grounded.
Well, yeah. When my accountant goes, Steve, you earn $100,000, and you're paying 48 cents in a dollar, therefore you're paying $48,000 tax on this $100,000, I can go, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So my arithmetic, and I'm good at quickly adding up. I can quickly add up sums in a shop. If someone's going, oh, I can go, that's $4.30. That is.
Right.
I'm still, that hasn't left me, but it makes me angry. I sort of algebra, it really makes me angry. I think one of the worst things in the world, it would be if someone said you have to, for some reason, you have to go back to school and you have to reapproach algebra and trigonometry. Is there any other esoteric types of maths I'm forgetting? Is there more than them?
Oh, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
There are whole fields of mathematics, but they're all so beautiful. They are.
But see, I hate them.
But you hate them.
I hate them.
And
I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them the way a kid who loves that might hate reading Shakespeare.
Right.
And we go, no, not Shakespeare. It's archaic and doesn't make sense. I don't know what it means.
Right.
That's how I feel. And I also feel I don't understand how there can be people who are good at both. It seems to me that you either have a mind for words and music and art, or you have a mind for maths and calculations and stuff. It seems very hard.
But you've met me, and
yeah. Well, I presume yes, you are across both of those things.
Yeah.
I presume you like poetry as much as maths.
I mean, I love your poetry.
Yeah. So, and I don't think I'm the only one.
No. Unfortunately, you're not. So that's why I'm writing this book and putting.
I think it's too late.
My work out there.
I think it's too late for me.
No,
but I think you can avoid. I think you can avoid. And also, okay, here's my question.
Okay.
Should someone like me have to learn maths? Why the hell was I ever learning maths? Why when was I put in a double? And the worst thing was at our school, I remember in 1 year, double maths first thing Monday morning.
Oh,
2 periods.
Oh my God! On a Monday, that was like the first.
Monday,
that's how you start school.
Double period, 2 40-minute periods of maths.
That is.
I started faking, and the teachers just let me fake it, and I just slipped. I was in the A class, and I slipped down and down and down. And in those days, there was advanced, credit, and ordinary. And I went from advanced to credit to ordinary, and then I completely failed maths. And when I did what was the matriculation, I just sat there and looked at the paper, and I don't even know why I went in. It was like I couldn't answer one question, but I was outraged as well, thinking, why the hell someone like me with this sort of aptitude I have for words, why are you trying to make me play around with numbers? So I guess it all started with this idea when it seemed like the teacher was pulling numbers out of the air and was being creative with numbers. I couldn't get my head around. You could pull words out of the air all you like, and I'd be like, wow, look at that. Yeah, pulling it out. Look what you're doing. But when it came to numbers, I sort of made me feel really bad. And all my family are like that. My children are all like that. I've got 5 daughters. I think they're all bad at maths and hate maths and don't want to know about it.
So do you know what's interesting is that math anxiety and math trauma can be passed to our kids, because if you have a bad attitude about math, then they're going to absorb those vibes, and then they will develop a bad attitude.
I've got to tell you, both the mothers of those children are always telling me that and go, leave them alone. I'm going, I hate. The kids will come home and go, I hate maths. I go, I hate maths. I fucking hate it. And the mothers be going, shut up, stop.
Yeah, and then if you do that, then they're gonna pick up on it. So that could be a reason, but it doesn't take away from the story and the pain that you had.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't take away from your story and your pain that your kids also don't enjoy math.
I don't know if it's it was painful at school because I was bullshitting.
And you still carry it. I mean, we met what, almost 10 years ago, and the first thing you said to me was, "I hate math," and you told me these stories.
Yeah.
And you still carry it. I see it. I see it in you now.
Yeah. But I don't yearn to be good at it.
No, sure.
And in fact, if a fairy appeared in this and said, with one wave of my wand, for no charge whatsoever, I could make you the most brilliant person at algebra and trigonometry and calculus, I go, I don't want it.
Oh.
I don't want to. I like my mathless life.
Wait a second. Does that mean you're not ordering my book?
Well, you know what? I'm very interested because I'm very interested to see how you. Look, I think it's really hard for someone like you, who has this predilection towards numbers and maths and all the esoteric forms of arithmetic and mathematics. And it's very hard for you to understand what it's like for someone like me. Just like when I was giving a songwriting course, and this kid was going, I can play, I can sing, I can't write lyrics. I just go, write about whatever you like. Yeah, but I can't, that's all right for you, but I can't. I go, just write about your girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. I'll make one up. And then my friends will laugh at me. And every suggestion I had, he had put this block there going, saying to himself, I can't write lyrics. And he couldn't get over that, and I think I've done that. I did that to myself a long time ago. I'd be interested to have a look at the book and see where I went wrong, and if there was some way. I'd be more interested because I know you, and to see how to admire. I'm really interested when people get a new take on an old problem, and like, if somebody writes a book about anxiety and goes, if you have problem with anxiety, imagine it like this. Yeah. Or if you don't like doing yoga, think of it like this. Or if you don't like Shakespeare, think of it like this. So if you have really found some way into maths for the common man,
I think it's a new take. So the first half helps you work through your math trauma. And the second half, you'll enjoy this. Takes you through arithmetic.
You what?
It takes you through arithmetic.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you're just going to enjoy the arithmetic that you like yourself, because that's where a lot of people need that foundation solidified.
Yeah.
And then hopefully in the next book, we'll go through algebra.
So this book's only taking on arithmetic?
Only taking on arithmetic.
Right.
Yeah.
But people don't seem... Do people have arithmetic trauma? So
most people experience trauma throughout their... I experienced my math trauma in graduate school.
Right.
Right? But most people who really want to get into algebra have a very difficult time with their arithmetic.
Who would want to get into algebra?
Somebody who wants to be a scientist.
Oh, okay.
Or a doctor.
Okay.
Or an architect.
Right.
Right? Or somebody who needs to pass their exams.
Right.
Or somebody who wants to learn how to code.
Code. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there are people who just, it isn't for them?
So here's the thing. Human beings are mathematical beings. We use our logical minds to understand and control our world.
Yeah.
We are all human. We are all mathematical.
Yeah.
Some people might have more of a desire or a lean one way to another.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there's nothing there. I think the only reason that you don't feel intact with your math self is because you never developed
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Aren't Arabic people inclined towards maths perhaps more than...
No.
Yeah, they are. They invented it.
A lot of the
invented zero.
Hindus. The Arabs got it from the Hindus.
Oh, okay.
But then when the Arabs held all the mathematics of history, because Europe was in the Dark Ages, it was held in the Middle East. Yeah. We built on it with algebra, and we brought you algebra. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But
so you
it's yes. Algebra is an Arabic word.
It is?
Yes.
It sounds like it, too.
It is.
And what does it mean?
Algebra was the author
Okay.
who codified, and it was his writing that lasted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think there are people that just this isn't for?
So there are people. So I don't think that.
No.
I don't think
it's
that.
for everybody
because it's human. It's a human endeavor.
Yeah.
Being mathematical, just wanting to rationally understand our world is human.
Yeah.
And so that's where the math part comes in.
Yeah.
But how it's applied in school might be a little bit cold, right? May not sit well with people. I think that a lot of your linguistics linguistics is mathematics.
Is it?
Yes.
In what way?
It's very mathematical because you're taking the structure of language and abstracting it to understand the big forms and relationships. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Algebra. It's abstracted arithmetic.
I hear this sort of thing, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't
that's
believe
fine.
it. I don't,
we could talk. Yeah.
I just don't believe algebra has anything to do with language.
Oh goodness. I mean, that's as sick as this is. That's what LLMs do. Is that
who?
AI language models and chatbots.
They do.
Right?
Yeah.
They're basically
Yeah.
taking all the language that we've ever used and put it together. They use mathematics to do that.
Okay.
And you can get a properly written sentence just by a computer that's randomly pulling words. A computer doesn't know what a cat is, but it knows that the word cat and meow go together.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think if I learned algebra at this stage of the game, it could have any possible application that would improve my life?
Okay, so Steve asks me about learning algebra, and if you notice, our eyes kept turning off to the side of the camera. It's because we kept getting called for sound check, and Steve needed to go. So I had to wrap up really quick, and I knew that the answer I really wanted to give wasn't going to tie up the interview quickly. So watch, and I'll get back to you with the answer that I really want to give. Right.
Do you think if I learned algebra at this stage of the game, it could have any possible application that would improve my life?
I think learning anything improves your life.
Other than that.
Fair? Okay.
Other than staving off my inevitable dementia. And it probably would. That would really
totally.
Sharpen your mind up.
Okay. Is there a practical application of algebra for Steve Kilbey?
Yeah.
No. You are privileged enough where you don't need it. You have a life where you don't necessarily need it.
Okay.
But is that the case for everybody? No. So what did I really want to say to Steve? I wanted to say, yes, there's still value in you learning algebra now so that you could heal that inner child, so that you can go back and understand that you have value, that algebra makes sense, that it is creative and beautiful, and so that you could settle that part of you that you still carry, and that anger that you've held for all of these years can finally be extinguished. Because Steve Kilbey, super successful, super privileged, doesn't need algebra, but that anger is still there. And that is what healing your math trauma will do for you.
Right.
There's always a need, and there's always a case, and you could probably find a case for it.
It seems pretty esoteric to me. It seems like it's an esoteric thing.
It's abstract arithmetic.
Yeah.
You're taking the numbers and you go, I don't need to worry if this is a 2 or a 4. I'm kind of curious what happens to the pattern in general.
Right.
Or I don't know what this value is, and I want to try to find ways to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I got your brain going.
No, it's really interesting, and I like to talk about it. But once I sit down with the book and reading, I'll be like, and there's something that's always saying to me, "Don't you bother with that." There's this thing that sort of tells me what to do. And when numbers and science and chemistry and that sort of thing comes into my orbit, this thing goes, no, you shouldn't worry about that. That's not for you.
So how about we do this? How about you read it? Because it's a narrative.
Yeah.
So you could read it and either enjoy my writing or talk trash about my writing.
Have you got one with you?
I do. I have samples.
Like an actual book? Because I don't want to read it off my phone.
No, but I could show you. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You do have one?
Yeah.
A printed out one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got lots of edits in it, but
Huh?
it's got lots of edits in
All
it.
right.
But you can read a few pages.
Okay.
And then
I'm up for that.
right. And so you could either read it because it's so engaging because the
Yeah.
writing is that good.
Yeah.
Or you could hate read it and sit there and say, "Oh my God,
I
I
was
can't
right.
believe you're such a terrible writer."
No.
And keep going.
No. Well, what? They want me?
They're done. All right. So sound check.
Okay, this is where I use my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what comes after 4.
Yeah, it goes back to 1.
Oh, right. Okay.
Thank
Good to
you,
see you,
Steve.
Geillan.
Thank you, Steve.
Do you have one for me?
No, but I'll get you one. Hey, Steve, what do you think so far?
I think you write it really well. I think your writing is really well, and it's got a really nice angle on it, and the other little bits and pieces you're bringing in, it's really good so far. Are you?